Ejike Jamal,
aka NaNa Man,
and this is the problematic safe place.
Hey NaNa, yo, we got people been like you said, we've been out for a month.
It's been a minute.
Okay, we've been
a season.
The problematic safe place been on a little hiatus, y'all.
Yeah, it is, man. I'm sorry about that, but man, I've been excited, so excited, man. Hey, EJ.
Yeah.
No homo. I miss you, dog.
Hey,
I miss
man.
you, bro.
No, man. No, hey. No, we see niggas can quit that no homo, bro.
Hey.
We could. It's okay
It
for us as
validates.
young.
Like I just want to show my affection without showing my affection. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, man, black brothers can love each other, man. It's all right.
Really?
It's all right. It's all right. NaNa man, I love you, bro.
Likewise.
No, I need you to say. But y'all, hey y'all, it's been a little while.
It's been
okay,
a
I
minute.
promise we didn't get shut down from the last episode when we were tackling some LBGT topics and talking about transgender people,
pansexuals.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. It was very informative. I learned that you can identify as a they, not a gender, but like instead of he or she, you can identify as pronouns like they, we, are. I'm not interested in dating anybody who identifies as any of those, but it's out there. We did, and you missed it. Shout out to Talking Greasy. They did have me make an appearance, and one of the episodes, some guy has an obsession of people doo-dooing on him. Yeah, it was weird.
What?
Yeah. So pretty much he paid people to
a shit fetish.
Yes.
That's what y'all talked about.
It was brought up. It was not the whole topic, but yeah, it's out there. You know, Craigslist provides you everything you want.
Hey,
Speaking
man,
of
shout out
Craigslist, if you want to sponsor the Problematic Safe Place, please give me a call at 817-501-1706.
Hey, but yo, shout out to Talking Greasy, y'all.
Yeah, shout out to
But hey, we're back. We didn't get shut down. Okay, we're back better than ever. No white supremacist, hurricane, or fat, ugly white feminist formed against us shall prosper. You know what I'm saying? But yo, NaNa man,
What up?
can you introduce to them, man, our beautiful guests?
Oh yeah, we do got some guests. We got some two, not one, but two beautiful ladies. Let me go ahead and talk to the lady to the right of me. She goes by Ashley. Fellas,
He had to add a little.
Yeah. Make it look luxurious. Man, let me go ahead and paint a vivid description of Ashley.
Yo, work that image.
Wow, yeah. Just say that Michelangelo couldn't sculpt a better figure.
Oh my goodness.
Michelangelo couldn't sculpt a better angel. All right.
Over here blushing.
Oh goodness, yeah, I am.
You blushing? I see it. No, but truly, her beauty is timeless. The wonderful Ashley. Welcome to the Problematic Safe Place. Please introduce yourself.
Oh, I appreciate y'all having me on and stuff like that. It's been a minute. I used to do podcasting. It's been about a year now, so I'm just kind of glad to dip my feet back in the water. I don't know what I'm getting myself into, but, we'll see. So.
And I'm glad to have you here. And then we have she's actually a returning guest. And there's a lot left on the table, a lot of food left on the plate from last time. Was our first episode. Everybody give a round of applause for Raven, a.k.a. Poe.
Hey, Poe.
What's up, guys? Always fun to come kick it with y'all.
Right. So, man, let's get into this Kylie Jenner shit. Kylie Jenner's pregnant.
Wow, is that a surprise?
It's not a surprise, but man, you know what the first thing that came to my mind? Do y'all remember that story in China where the dude that sued his wife?
Thinking that exact same
scenario.
scenario.
A boy that sued his wife because his kids were ugly?
Yes.
Travis could be in that same situation, man.
I mean, it could be.
I hope he keep it in mind that
she had a lot of work done to look the way she looks.
But
so.
Travis is not even attractive. So
He's a rapper. It don't matter.
Make a beautiful
yeah,
child,
he's a
guys.
rapper.
So I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
they're
yeah.
good. I think they're good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and he's a rapper. Like, guys don't have to look. Looks is not
Well,
not.
I mean, to me,
Yeah.
like, you know, especially because these guys nowadays are purposely trying to make themselves unattractive. I've never thought that to be.
Like who?
For you, beauty's in the eyes of the beholder. So
It
for
is,
you,
but
it's
I
unattractive,
mean,
but to
Lil
someone
Uzi
else,
and all of them, like that kind of, they're not attractive to
You said
me.
Boosie?
Lil Uzi.
Oh, Lil
Like,
Uzi.
None of them are attracted to me.
None
I'm
of the
gonna have
color-
to concur. They're very unattractive.
So none of the color dreadhead niggas do it for y'all.
No.
No thanks. I'm good.
Little pump, little fucky, like Buddy
whatever.
says,
Little
little-
Chucky. Speaking of it, I did go to a concert Lil Uzi was in. It was in Anaheim, California. It was called The Day and Night. And wow, like it was pandemonium. Like it was at least about 100,000 plus fans, mainly white. But
Yeah, it
'cause they
makes
can
sense.
spend that money. You know, it was like $150 just a ticket. But anyways, Lil Uzi, all those little Whittle, Young, Junior, whatever, all those little rappers, they hot. They are popping right now. Man, you better get with it or get
Have you
left.
heard the new album?
With Lil Uzi?
Yeah, Love is Rage 2.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna sit down and listen to that crap.
But see, you ain't even heard it yet.
All of it. I just need to hear just the mainstream, the type ones, whatever. I don't know. Don't he got a what's his
XO Tour Life?
yeah.
I don't really care.
You were right on the drum.
That's my shit.
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay,
I know.
that's
I did it.
nigga, that's
Like,
my
when
shit.
That's nice, yeah.
Especially when like you say you work out too. Especially when that second verse hit, where it's like, that's my shit. Okay, like, but you know he changed the song like 3 times. Did you notice the change?
Them changing it, like
Yeah,
the tempo?
listen to it. Do you have Apple Music?
Yeah.
Check it out on Apple Music. The version changed. Like he doesn't hit that note the way he did the first time. It threw evering off for
He's
me.
probably on drugs when he first recorded it. And then,
Well,
like,
that shit
came
was
off
lit.
high, like, each time.
It was lit the first time. Man, but the album was trash.
Oh, really?
Man, yo, he let me down.
I'm glad we
what
closed
would-
that book.
Yeah, like the XO Tour Life. I like that song.
Like
and then
he
what
set
else
the
he
bar.
had?
Like with that EXO tour life,
Yeah.
he set the bar. I was
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
Yeah,
And then after,
That album was trash.
yeah. He been doing a lot of skeptical things, man. Rappers just need to come out. I don't know what he's different.
Skeptical. You mean like what do you mean?
When we talking about sexuality,
Oh, you mean Suspect?
yes, suspect, very
Uh-huh.
suspect. I don't know the whole drag queen moving his shoulders left and right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like women,
got
how attractive is you talking to a guy on the phone and your parents can't identify? Are you talking to your girlfriend or your boyfriend? Which one? You know? Yeah.
See, that's
Yeah.
that fob mentality coming out of you, bro. Okay, you need to get.
I'm not no fob. I'm not no.
Okay, it's all about gender fluidity out here in these streets. Right, Ashley? Raven?
I mean, I'm all about people doing their thing. If it's not hurting me in any way, shape, or form, do you. But, I mean, I'm not about it. I respect your choice. And if that's what you want to do, cool. But
I don't respect people's choice. I don't care. Yeah, I'm just like,
kinda
whatever.
harsh.
I mean,
care.
you know, if it's different and I don't get it, I'm be like, what's up, bruh? Like, what's wrong with you, you know?
just because you don't understand.
I don't care to understand.
No, you homophobic.
You asked me that before.
No, I asked you if you were transphobic.
No, you asked me if I was homophobic. We can go back to the archives. You did ask me that before.
Okay,
And I'm not going down that path. Like, I don't care. Yeah.
Now I'm
And
intrigued.
I love women. I love women. And I love my black sisters.
That wasn't the question.
First of all, no. I want to go on a side note. Let's lift up the black sisters right now. We just need to go ahead and lift them up. And
Niggas always
praise
try to get
y'all.
woke when you catch them in some shit. Hey, speaking of this though, okay, speaking of being woke, all right, NaNa, all the Confederate statues being moved, being taken down all across the country. They just took down Robert E. Lee, right, downtown
Yeah.
downtown Dallas. What do y'all think about removing all of the Confederate figures?
I just kind of feel like, from like my standpoint, you can take these things, the monuments down, but it's not going to make you and erase like what has happened in history in the past. And I feel like you removing what you think is like, oh, it's hurtful to me that this happened. It's like, it didn't, erase what actually happened in history. And it's like, sometimes we have to learn from those things. And like, truth be told, a lot of black people didn't even know where the hell those monuments were beforehand. Like, I didn't even know where like the Robert E. Lee, Stonewall Jackson, we didn't go visit them. Like, my parents didn't have us go visit, hey, you need to go visit this monument from this people, like, that oppressed during a certain time period. You know, no, we realized it's like, hey, that happened. And, you know, also I went to different monuments that I felt like were empowering, like the Freedom, you know, Cemetery. I visited other areas like Black monuments and like Black museums because it's like, hey, I wanted to have that part of history. But to say that all of a sudden, like, we just need to like wash it away because somehow it hurts our feelings. It's like, we were never slaves. It's hurting your feelings. What do you think about how your ancestors felt?
Did you said we were? Or you're talking about like us?
Us, yeah, like
we
the
were
modern
our
ancestors. Our ancestors endured that.
Gotcha.
So to me, it's like, you know, we'd have to go back in time and be like, how would you feel with these monuments being up? Because they didn't start going up until like the 1920s, you know. So it was already back then. Slavery was done with in 1860. You know, so I just don't understand why now all of a sudden we have to make this a point to like remove, so somehow it's going to make us feel better. Like, that's my standpoint on it. But
it looked like something was on your mind, Poe.
No,
Come on,
I mean,
spit it out. Let it go.
No, it's nothing like that. I definitely agree with everything she said. But I think when these monuments probably did go up, it was in a time period where our voice, our opinions, how we felt about it in the first place still weren't heard. So, I mean, it's kind of a catch-22. I really don't care. I'm not bothered by a statue because that's not going to hurt my feelings. That's not going to help me go to school. It's not going to pay my bills. I don't care about this statue.
exactly.
I really don't.
Fuck it, man. What'd you say?
I agree with that. So the next thing is, hey, we've been heard. Okay, there's been things that's showing that as Black or African Americans or even people of ethnic groups in America has been suppressed prior. Okay, so if we've been heard and they're taking down the statues, next thing they just need to go ahead and give us reparation. Like, I'm ready for that check.
Okay, taking down a statue and then paying us are two completely different things.
I need that check.
Okay, no, I mean, like, I feel like we should have got rid of all that shit. Like I spoke to you about this just last night, Ashley. Yeah. Okay, and you gave me a different perspective that I didn't consider. You know, because on one end, it's like, hey, why are we taking down history? You know, it happened. I get where you're coming from on that. I do. But then then I can't help, because, you know, me, I'm pissed that they're starting to take out slavery out of the history books. Yeah. You know, even though I'm also upset at the same time that every time it portrays Black people in the history book, we're always the victim. But then I look at it from this way too. Why should we take down the Confederate symbols? But the thing is, we're still suffering from the aftermath of what happened with slavery.
Exactly. So taking down a statue isn't going to affect change in any way. It may make us feel.
It symbolized it. I guess.
It's a temporary.
Exactly.
You shouldn't just take down the statues. Okay, you need to burn down the fucking statues and replace that with a big Malcolm X.
I mean, they're not going to do all that. Let's be honest.
That's what needs to happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I think it's something to kind of like, oh, they'll shut up for a little bit if we just take this down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it'll quiet them down for a little bit. But exactly.
It's not really getting to the core of what's the issue.
Exactly.
That's why with all these things that we're trying to, like, it's like, what's the overall end goal?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or, you know, like, we're doing all these little small steps and stuff, but it's like, they're kind of disjointed. And I don't know how exactly it's like saying, this is going to make us, because it's all about the feelings of how we're feeling at the present time. It's like, oh, we feel empowered. We are making changes. And it's like, nothing is legislative. Nothing legislative is getting enacted. Yeah. It's just doing, you know, little small actions like, okay, we'll tear down this little monument for you.
It's just an accommodation for
you
the
know,
moment.
you keep kneeling and stuff, doing certain things like that. It's going to make you feel better, you know, for the time being. But what else is getting done? Obviously, you're not doing anything in government to make changes. If you want, if that's what you're trying to see. Like, I'm not seeing people just saying up front, like, hey, they'd rather argue with the president about certain things. And, like, granted, you're arguing with a maniac. You're not arguing with an actual real human being. So it's like, to me, how are you actually thinking that you're going to make anything get across and stay in time being like, okay, we have little small victories. We're just going to pile them up. And somehow we're just going to win this overall war. Which I don't know if there even is a fucking war right now. Like, that's how I'm feeling, like, the overall aspect.
It's definitely a Cold War right now. But, yeah.
It's like a
but really though,
but I agree. It's a cold war
of like,
it's a social war.
But and to tell you the truth, man, Kim and Trump are the same goddamn person.
Yeah,
they're the same person.
Yeah,
which is crazy. But you know what, man? I'm gonna say some shit. I think we should have took North Korea out a long time ago. Okay, I think we should have took North Korea out.
That's gonna insinuate a World War III, brother.
But when you're constantly threatening other countries with your nukes, and it seems like nobody likes. It seems like the world is on a big show of everybody hates North Korea.
Are you sure?
China.
That's the
But
thing. Like, are you sure
but
that
even
everybody hates
China
North
is
Korea?
starting to fall back a
No,
little bit
no.
from North Korea.
They appear they're
China
falling back.
They said it.
Money.
Yes.
China is always going to support North Korea.
And how you think they can afford the missiles? How you think they can afford these practices of weapons of mass destruction?
China
But
built
China-
up North Korea.
Yeah, but China said if they hit us first, then they're staying out of it.
Of course.
That's what China said.
China's a global. They're globalization. They want to make sure they're protecting their markets.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, too, it's for them territorial wise.
Exactly.
It benefits them to have a communist country right underneath. They don't want North Korea to become South Korea and become like a whole democratic state, because that takes away from them having cushion when it comes to like Japan's democracy. You have South Korea's democracy. If they have a North Korea become democracy, it takes away their allies. They don't want that. So it's like it benefits them to have this communist country that's isolated, and obviously that they keep on pumping resources to, because North Korea relies on them so much. But it would not benefit them to all of a sudden say, "Hey, we're going to let you go and make your own decision." But North Korea, it will always say the random things, but it knows it has China's back. China will not let them fall.
Exactly.
You have all these other communist countries that fell back in the 1940s to the 1970s, 80s. They will not let North Korea fall too.
I think it's a conspiracy theory behind it. China
What you think?
is helping North Korea, I guess, indirectly, and causing, fear amongst American as far as, North Korea doing all these nuclear tests and missiles to distract us.
It's the propaganda. Yeah. I totally agree with the propaganda. I think.
And I think Russia's involved in it as well.
It's always Russia.
I
wish your friend was here.
Because right now, China's number 2 in the world, right? China's behind us, so they're number 2 in the world. So, if something does go down between America and North Korea, they'll just rise right back to the top. Number 1.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at this like from a power scenario, and I think China is like the Milan. For those of y'all who watch Power. Okay. Nana, I know you know what I'm talking about. Okay? I feel like I don't know, I think China and North Korea, do we need them?
Yeah, absolutely. We owe
No,
China
no,
like
no.
Yeah.
I mean, can
we owe China.
No, my question is, can the U.S. be the new plug
Absolutely not.
for merchandise?
What's made here, brother?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff is made in China, so no, absolutely not.
Fake asses?
What?
Fake asses?
Oh
That's
my.
not even made
Actually,
here.
you probably get a better deal 2 for 1 in China.
Yeah, but they'll do it cheaper. But
Yeah.
I think we have the market. We were the originators on that one. I think so.
The emerging countries right now are like the BRIC. You have Brazil, Russia, India, and China, and then I think there's another one, the K, that's starting in there. But I mean, they are always going to be the ones that are building up right now. U.S. right now, we're in a deficit, and so we continue being in a deficit. We are always going to have to rely on China. So it's saying oh, we don't need you, China. China's like, screw you, we don't care.
Yeah.
We have your credit. On the palm of our hands. So, but he's like, I'm going to take a stand, and I think that spoke volumes. People still talking about it today.
So, Ashley, let me ask you this question. So, hypothetically, or in a perfect world, say if these players actually, boycott and say, you know what, I'm not going to play for the NFL, and get the owners and the higher ups of NFL's attention, what do you suggest is a fix? Or even people in Congress, what is the fix for the problem that's going on right now?
Well,
Is there a fix? You have to create one. We have
exactly. And I'm still, because I'm kind of conflicting what I hear, what they want out of what they want, based on me reading what Black Lives Matter, and what they want. Hey, these are what we want to have passed on down. It's really unrealistic. Telling white people, give up us your land, or give us your money.
No, you got to fight for that shit. You got to take that shit.
And it's you're telling me just because I'm white, I have to give you my what I earned, or even if it was given to me, it was passed. I was inherited to it. So why should I give it up to you just because you're Black? I have no connection to you as a person. So you're literally trying to tell us and I feel like I say us. I'm not white, by the way, but shut up.
Because Because it's like, are you with the brother man or you with the other man?
I'm just saying is like,
Outright.
I really feel like for, if it's about, violence, police brutality, then let's, really think about getting programs like diversity programs. Sometimes they've been able to help. Sometimes they don't. They're dirt shit, because people don't put the money or don't put the resources into it. And then so it's like, okay, maybe diversity programs or maybe training when it comes to it. It's very different when you're in that environment, when you're seeing people day to day, and then you have interactions, and then you're actually having to be a cop on the street and having to like act within 10 to 15 seconds. You're not thinking, oh, the person's black, like I'm going to shoot them, like I'm hunting, like, black people because I hate them.
Yeah.
It may be in the scenario situation based on the economy, based on where you're at. We just don't know. And I feel like if people start to actually, say, okay, these are the circumstances and situations. If we're saying going forward, this is where we want to like grow as a people. Like, hey, we want protection. The best thing probably too is put more black people in the force. But a lot of blacks don't want to go in the force. They don't want to be a part of the force because it's like, hey, I don't want to be snitched.
A lot of them leave the force.
Yeah,
But all of these dudes who shot up, like all these dudes who did these police shootings were in some type of service. They were either in the police or they were in the military. All of these shooters. Even my brother was in the army, and my brother-in-law was in the force. And both of them have stories. Both of them have stories about how it is, like how fucked up it is in the system. I don't know, man. I feel like we've exhausted a lot of options. I feel like there's only one thing.
I don't know about that because it's crazy. Because I look at Dallas right now, and our force do reflect our community. Like our head chief is a woman, a black woman, and she's like fixing up shop. Like Dallas, for the most part, from what I've seen, has done a pretty good job.
And it's 30-30. Like it's 30% Hispanic, 30% black, and 30% white.
Oh, I'm not talking about Dallas because I'm surprised.
I'm just saying it's like at least you're saying that's how the system is working.
Yeah.
And it's working for itself. So it's like if
is it because we did have Dallas is the place where we had that Black Lives Matter movement and we had that black man kill a cop.
I mean,
that's
what I'm saying. Black Lives Matter protest doesn't mean that they condone that action.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm really tired of people trying to put those two together. Just because there's one bad apple in the bunch doesn't make the whole batch.
Because that's what started with the whole Muslim phobia.
You saw the community come together after that happened. You saw the whole community at least try to bridge together, like saying, hey, we're all one. Like, let's, I know. I feel
it was very hard for me to do that.
It was hard for you?
Yeah. And I'll say that because I've been very conflicted about this. Okay, yeah, man, it's fucked up that from what we can tell, innocent cops were gunned down. They had families. They had, they probably didn't do some of the other things that the other brothers in arms did. And this was just a reaction because black people were tired. But at the same time, I look at it like this too. I'm like, hey, if you're riding in a car, right? Let's say somebody picks you up, like you're a teen, and one of your boys picks you up from school. He stops at the gas station, goes in, robs the gas station, kills somebody, and gets back in the car. Y'all get caught by the police. Guess what?
You're affiliate.
Yeah, you're an accessory to murder. You're guilty by association. The way that I look at it is, and this is just me being pissed off, but I'm like, hey, y'all hold this to this same category. All right. Well, those of y'all who are in the system, what are y'all doing? Those of y'all who are in the force, what are y'all doing to keep your brothers in check? So the way I look at it, man, I hate it. I hate that innocent people, either way on both sides, innocent people are being taken. But I'm just like, hey, just like we can be held accountable and be guilty by association, y'all can too. That's how I feel about it.
I think that's the issue too, because we always see law enforcement not taking responsibility for those actions. So when we are faced with a situation like Trayvon Martin, Terrence Crutcher, shout out to Tulsa, my people. And really when that happens, especially in Tulsa, everyone knows everyone. It's a small city. And for that to happen and literally being on the phone with my cousin, FaceTime with another cousin on Facebook, and everyone's like checking on each other. Like it was a cousin's friend's cousin who got killed. Like that hits close to home.
Yeah.
So, and to watch that and show that the person who took someone's life when it wasn't necessary, it hits close to home. We have brothers, fathers, uncles, cousins that look just like this man who just got gunned down for no reason.
Yeah.
It messes with your psyche.
I mean,
It's not a simple thing to just sit here and be like, oh, well, I mean, maybe we can do this. Like, no. At some point, we have to get angry enough to be like, listen, if you guys are going to patrol us, if this is what you want to do, is this what your job description, what you signed up to do? No one came up to you and was like, you're going to be a cop now. No, you went through training. You read books, you studied, you did all this training just for this one moment, and you decided to take the wrong choice when you knew that you had other things that you had been trained on that you could have utilized before using deadly force.
Yeah.
That I can't respect. But I can't say nothing because one of the dearest people to my heart is my aunt, and she's a cop.
Yeah.
But she's been in the force for so long, and I've seen so many kids, people that she has helped.
Yeah.
So I vouch for there being amazing officers out there,
There is.
that
There
have
are.
good hearts.
I don't think they get
And like
enough
you
credit.
said,
There is.
and like you said, Nana, like Dallas, I'm surprised that shit went down in Dallas because what I could tell, Dallas has been pretty
A
good.
president got killed here. Don't put it past you.
Well, and I feel it's something where I think people do miss, like sometimes, or don't always like bring up when some of the cops who are brought to like and they are indicted on some of these charges. Reason why they are not actually convicted is because they are judged by the jury and by the peers, and jury tend to have like this image of cops as being the good guys at the end of the day. They have an entrustment factor with them. It just depends on who the jury is.
But all those people are weeded out too, because I mean,
They do.
it's
Yeah,
like,
you
so,
see them in
I
jury.
mean,
And so,
exactly.
But at the end of the day, it's like if you're saying like I'm judging by your peers, these 12 people, and if they say, you know, hey, we didn't see any fault to this person, even though there could be like suspicious. And granted, obviously, like Trayvon Martin case, certain cases just bothered me because it's like when it went through the process, and you're like, and you still didn't find anything the why this guy could not have been convicted. I realize it's because those people somehow in the, you know, their brains are like, they felt like there was nothing they could really bring forth. So it's like, you have to somehow re-educate, you know, your peers on figuring out, and because some of them don't even know the law. If you read legal text, some people are like, they're lost. I don't know what the hell this is. It's like legal code, so-and-so and so-and-so. I don't know. Maybe like, I think he's not guilty. Like, and they want to go home too. Some of these juries, like they've been on this case for so long. They're like, let's close it. It's not really related to us because they don't connect it.
Yeah.
And, you know, but we're upset because we're feeling like, you know, I can relate to this person, even though he may not be my relative. He looks like my brother. He looks like my father. That, you know, you have to have that perspective involved.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it goes the same way too. Like I feel like you need to be from that community, or at least be connected to it, relate to the community,
Honestly,
to be patrolling it.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think before you even, once you get assigned a certain area, you should have to do community service there for at least a few months before you're even put on the uniform. Because you need to know who you're patrolling. You need to know these families. You need to know the community. You need to know that all these people, like just everyday life.
Yeah.
Like there might be a hustler that goes to the gas station and is cool with the owner, so he does sell his CDs out there, which we've seen in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And then cops roll up and just want to. I'm like, they didn't know their community. They didn't know what was going on. That's the reason why I use Ferguson as example as well, because no one who patrols them or dictates their rules and laws in that area is from Ferguson.
And see, I can't talk about Ferguson. I feel so iffy talking about Ferguson because that's one of the cases where we don't really have all the facts.
No, I'm not talking about the Trayvon Martin thing, but I'm like, all these things, if you really want to dictate changing, you are really upset. Why vote everyone out? There are people in your communities that do have the knowledge and the potential to actually be great influencers in your community, especially if you're from there.
Right.
So I think if you're mad enough, everyone on that council would have been voted off. You guys don't want to hear us. You guys don't want to fix the problem. You guys are going to have officers here that don't know us, don't patrol us, don't live in our neighborhoods. And we're supposed to be okay with this? No. And honestly, our silence is probably one of the most disrespectful things we could do, especially for grandparents and people that we knew that died or suffered and pretty much got terrorized when they were younger, just for stuff that we take for granted every day. So I think it's really disrespectful of us to really not say anything or be very quiet about it.
Yeah.
We're in the age where you are able to have your voice heard by thousands, if not millions.
Yeah,
So.
and as we know, there's been pros and cons to that.
No, exactly. No, there really is. You have to watch. You really do have to watch what you say, but it's great to have that platform, no matter what it is. What people are going to agree with you or disagree with you, all day, every day. That's life. But the fact that you can put your voice out there. And, hey, it's always nice when you bump into people who agree with you and maybe are interested in taking that next step. But it has to be all of us, guys. It can't just be one group over here, one group over there. We got to unify and really do what we need to do.
Yeah. I guess my final thoughts on this too, man. Niggas, we got to stop giving everybody the Black Lives Matter, okay? This shit, not everybody deserves the Black Lives Matter. For instance, y'all remember that story with the woman? She had an AK-47, a little boy inside?
Yeah. No, you're going to have to elaborate.
Man, if I could find this video while I'm talking to you about it, I'll show it.
AK-47, a woman, so...
Okay, there was a black woman, right? There was Yeah, she was pushing the car.
Was it?
No, you can talk. Yeah. Shit, I wish we had another mic. Hey, let's see. Can we get another mic? Hold on.
Right. We got a surprise guest, a special appearance.
Joining this woke conversation.
Stay woke.
Hi, I'm Allison.
Hi, Allison.
Hey, everybody say hi, Allison.
So, Allison, what you think about... So we were talking about... You were about to comment on the story I was about to bring up.
Go ahead.
So anyway, long story short, right? These cops were outside the door trying to get in, get inside an apartment, and inside was a woman, a black woman, with an AK-47 and a little boy.
What's happening right now? Who's outside?
The police.
And what are they trying to do? It's charging. What are they trying to do?
They trying to kill us.
I'm sorry, dear. I can hear you. You said no?
It's good. Do you want to go out there?
No.
Oh. Okay. What do you want to do?
This.
There's no wrong answer. What do you want to do?
Just you could tell the brainwashing that she did to this little boy.
Yeah.
And and she's over here holding the gun, and these cops over here beating down the door, beating down. And did she get shot at the end?
Yes.
Yeah, I would have lit her ass up too.
Yeah, and they grazed the little boy, not like they weren't trying to, but it was just like, she was like posted up, like kind of on the couch and everything, like, come in, like, and they were just like, they tried to do this whole talk down. They were being very patient, at least.
So let's be honest.
So why was she holding an AK-47?
She was crazy.
It was a rifle. It was just a
Okay. So,
I thought it was
it was a big, I thought it was an AK.
And why was the cops coming into the house?
I can't remember why they were coming.
Wasn't there
like a backstory to where she got pulled over or something like that, or she was driving without her license or something?
Yeah, and she didn't have she didn't have
Oh, because she was a sovereign citizen.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. It's coming back to me.
So it started that way, and then it just progressed. I think the whole time she was saying like, oh, well, I know my rights, and she was talking to her children like, hey, they're going to come get me. They're going to arrest me and da-da-da. Like, this is what should be, you guys should be soldiers. You guys need to fight and all of this. I'm like, this is freaking crazy.
And what's her name again?
Corinne Gates.
Corinne Gates. I know why she got the Black Lives Matter. I'm about to show you why. Karen Gates?
Corinne Gates.
Oh, Corinne Gates.
Corinne Gates.
R-R-Y.
K-O-R-R, Y-N.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
this is why she got the Black Lives Matter. Okay? She's bad. Bruh.
A visual picture.
Yeah,
oh,
bruh.
Wow.
Okay?
She looked like she can lower her brother's blood pressure right there.
Okay, so let's be honest. She was a fat, ugly white feminist. She definitely would have got lit up quicker. Much quicker. We wouldn't be talking that she, Black Lives Matter or this and that. She doesn't get the pass. And I feel like when we constantly give out that pass to people who don't deserve it.
It dilutes. Yeah,
it does.
The purpose.
It does. So we need to.
Yeah, and people outside of the Black community, they're like, when they see it's like, oh, you take up for anybody who, even if they're like the bad, like some of the people, like the guy who, shot down those cops. We were like, oh yeah, he's making a stand. He's, like you dilute what our overall purpose is. And it's like, it's taking away from the impact that we can actually be making when you're saying we're going to stand up. Because I have one friend who's very much pro-Black anything. He's like, I will support anything Black because Black is good. Black is beautiful. Black girl magic, Black this, everything. Yeah. I'm like, you have to take away and say like, hey, we have some bad apples. You have to separate yourself from that. You can't always say that we're going to always take up for everything Black just because it's Black.
Okay, I got you.
You have to say like, hey, these are bad apples or these bad people. We do not condone these actions of these individuals. It gives us a better stand because it's like showing that we have morals and values above just ethnicity and race. Mm-hmm. It's more to us than that.
Wow.
That was crazy.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, I was like I'm done.
I think that can also be an instance where Black Lives Matter because we have to take into account the people who are thinking, oh well, I can challenge authority or this, that, and the third, just for the simple fact that they think that they have some sort of I don't know, education or mind. I guess what I'm trying to say is we have to be able to hold each other accountable as Black people.
Yeah.
So not to say that, oh, your life doesn't matter or your stance wasn't important. Like we have to be able to educate and let each other know that, hey, this is right and this is not correct. Because if not, it's going to be repetitive. It's going to be a cycle of people doing all these outrageous things and they're teaching their children and they're learning, you know?
Indoctrination, definitely agree.
And a lot of this stems from frustration. I think a lot of people are just frustrated with the entire system. Yes, it has been some wrongdoings, but something like, from what I'm understanding, what was her name? Raven, Kate, what was the?
Corin
Gates situation. Obviously, she was
Kevin Gates, like a
Corin Gates. Well, obviously, what she was doing was, resisting arrest. For her actions that need to be held accountable, and unfortunately, brainwashing the kid as well.
Because that boy is gonna be fucked up after this, which is so sad.
And did
they? I don't know if they killed his dad. Yeah, I don't know if they killed his dad or not, but I just know one thing. Like after that, you already know what's going on in his head, how he perceives the information based on everything he's been taught. Now all that little boy believes is police killed my mama.
Yeah,
police gunned down my moms.
Yeah.
That's another problem you might have to deal with in the future.
And then when it keeps on appearing on the news where police killing Black people and normalize it, people are like, oh, so this is really actually going on.
It desensitizes us.
Yeah.
Because it's the norm. It's almost like watching a video game. Oh, it's just a regular day. And that should never be the case, especially when it comes to kids, especially when it comes to babies who don't really understand what they're looking at, what they're hearing. And it resonates.
Yeah. And you're right. It has become a norm, and it has got me numb at this point because it's like...
And we should never feel that way.
We shouldn't.
That's not healthy.
Because we get confused. I get confused now if me and my boys are talking about, hey, man, you heard that one Black guy that got shot, by the police.
It's like, which one?
We're telling different stories. Like, no, not that one. It was the dude over there on 47th Street. Yeah. Oh, shit. I thought you were talking about old dude, and it happens every day. So...
Wow, man, I didn't know we were gonna go, but now
I didn't either. Today. That was a part of the plan.
That was kind of deep, man. But I'm gonna bring a little bit more energy. But wow, Allison, man, I appreciate it, ladies.
You have a very lovely voice, by the way. And I know that's don't take that as that white collar. Like you speak so well. No, don't take it like that. But like, can we learn a little bit more about you? Like you just
let's know about Allie.
Well,
you on blackpeoplemeet.com?
No, not currently. Do I need to be? What would you like to know about me? Tell me your name.
My name is Ejike Jamal.
Who?
Ejike.
Ejike. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So
and everyone over here, actually.
Yes, Raven.
Raven, nice to meet you.
Ashley,
hi.
Nice to meet you.
So Ashley, you told me that you had a list for me.
A list?
Or something that you wanted to ask me.
Get them.
I wasn't even
this
like
is
a
time.
list of things. Like, where was our next topic?
Oh, we're gonna get into this Kevin Hart. we're gonna get into the man of the hour.
Man, that boy Kevin Hart. Hey.
Oh, but before
I love Kevin Hart. I don't care. It don't matter what he does.
Before I don't know about it doesn't faze me, to be honest. But before we start this topic, we got to play this song. Yeah. It's a problematic premiere. Yeah, get my Clue voice on.
Yeah.
It's called Candy Pop.
You heard it here first on the Problematic Safe Place.
By Montia Sabag. For those who don't know, this was the woman allegedly in the Kevin Hart video, the sex tape.
Oh, wow.
Okay? She went ahead and she released a new single called Candy Pop.
Publicity.
Oh, man. I'm not mad at her, yo. I'm not mad at her.
Get yours.
Just like how, do you remember when Drake dropped that line, Tiffany from Hooters on Peach Street?
I heard he dropped, but I didn't know he was
He
actually
mentioned some
referencing
girl
to somebody.
Yeah, that she went ahead and she started promoting her little thing. So I like how what's her name, Montia Sabag.
Hey, get your 15 seconds.
You know, I'm not mad at her.
I mean, it worked for Cardi.
Oh yeah,
It's working for a lot
Queen
of those,
Cardi.
Yeah, a lot of those girls.
Shout out to Cardi.
Absolutely, yeah, man.
Yeah. So what we think about this Kevin Hart thing, man? Who's the victim
Victims.
or victims? I mean,
Yeah.
His pregnant wife. That's the
Yeah.
real victim.
But didn't she get with him by cheating? Hey, you reap what you sow. So, I mean, she got Kevin Hart when he was already with his other wife, and then, you know, she contributed to
I mean, that don't have
their
anything
divorce.
to do with me. Obviously, well, none of it has anything to do with me, honestly. But the simple fact that it's different when you're going through your man cheating on you and you're not pregnant, no ties, no nothing. But you're married, you're pregnant, you're full on.
But,
Pop the pot.
but he was married in the first place and didn't stop her. So,
But like stress, especially with a pregnant woman, stress can be really harmful. So
I
that's
just
the only
found
reason why I say I'm like all this stuff. I can only imagine. But
I just found out she was pregnant like 2 days ago. I didn't even know that.
that's a personal
Now,
problem.
have y'all seen the sex tape?
No.
I
No,
have no
did it
interest.
even come out?
Yeah, here it
Is
is.
it-
Right,
is
it's
it
right here.
Popping on the
Here it is right here.
It's
Oh, you're
real?
gonna show us?
Yeah, it's right here, but it's
Oh my
you
God.
see like they censor certain parts.
I can't play any game. You call it your rib. Yeah, I call it my rib, man.
Oh, right now they're playing. So, they're playing Kevin Hart's
Oh,
words from
man,
another
they
interview over it to
exploiting
show
that
how he
brother.
contradicted
Now my
himself.
boy Kevin.
Something that you can't live without.
All right, I'm gonna fast forward to the shit.
Hey, I'm guilty.
So you see the bed right there. You see the bed rocking in the video.
Oh, dang.
Now we
Oh,
fast
you
forward
really-
a bit, and then
Oh,
you're
I
gonna
thought it
see
was
Kev
just
walk
pictures.
out.
Right there for like a shadow.
Yeah, now watch Kev come out.
Oh, this is real. Oh my.
Come
on, Kev.
There he is, right there.
Oh, Kev.
Man of the hour. Man, this is disgusting. This is disgusting. I'm gonna tell you why.
Dang, Kev. Oh, dang.
I got a good one. A logical thinking woman. Do you understand how hard that is, man? To get a woman that can think on a
Whoever made this video is
We're all human.
No, you know what, man? I'm gonna say that I'm very sickened by this, man. I'm very disgusted by this. Okay, Kev is a victim, yo.
Hey.
Kev is a victim.
What?
Look, listen. In the video, Kevin is clearly drunk in this video. We're witnessing a live rape right now, a recorded rape.
Wow. You know what? I didn't think about that.
Well, yeah.
You're right. He was
I am
intoxicated.
disgusted by what I'm looking at right now.
You know, wow, that makes sense. Like, guys get raped all the time.
Yes, he's inebriated. She's taking advantage, and she's recording it. This could also be a revenge porn thing too.
I've been in a situation. I haven't. You know, I can't even say. I tried.
I was like, I can't wait to hear
Yeah.
this one.
I see all of y'all shaking y'all's heads. And you know what? Y'all are the ones who are promoting rape culture right now. Okay.
Okay.
This is a clear
Well, we need to
example of how
start
rape
right
culture
there.
affects our society. What you about to say?
No.
And you don't know, what if someone put something in his drink? Have we can't take that out the equation. You
He
think
didn't
he's
even know
acting
it.
in his
All
right mind?
All I know is that man seemed like he was walking just fine to walk to the bathroom. But his
Well, there's a lot of drugs
See,
that.
that's that rape culture right there. Because a bunch of dudes.
Right, exactly.
See,
I mean, we seen him hop down off that bed. You can't play me.
Is that really him though?
But see,
Like,
if we,
all we
but
seen
see,
is
if we
legs.
reverse it, but if we reverse the sexes though, we'd be like, oh, look at her. You know, there ain't nothing wrong with her. She can still walk a straight line. She knew what she was doing.
I wouldn't.
Now, first of all, guys, for those who don't catch the sarcasm, I'm joking around.
Obviously.
I'm okay. A lot of people would.
I totally
Okay,
got
first,
that.
first of all, I mentioned this on on another episode. We keep on misusing and abusing the word rape. Okay, and that definitely takes away from the real victims who've actually been through some shit. But
It's regret. Some of it's regret. They misplaced
Exactly.
regret to be rape, and it's like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. And it's like, oh, well, I was a little drunk, or hey, I probably could have been influenced. Oh, I think he gave me something, and then they bring up these charges and stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like it makes like this whole like firestorm, and then you could really ruin people's lives who may have like been like, you both were drunk, you both were really not in your right mind at the time. And it's like, maybe, okay, I shouldn't have done what I did, but it happened anyway. Yeah, for Kevin Hart, didn't he have a relationship with this girl already before?
He did.
Obviously. So, we take that out of the equation anyway. But
No, because that's just like saying that you can't rape somebody that you've been with. That you can't rape your girlfriend or your wife.
True.
You can't.
They're not.
No
saying
means
this is rape.
no.
This is extortion. This is another crime.
Oh yeah, I was just carrying out that
Exactly.
point.
Yeah, let's just like say.
So let's just get off that whole subject.
No, this is an educated moment. Okay, like a lot of people don't, like. Yes, because a lot of people don't believe that you can rape your spouse.
Oh
you can,
no,
yeah.
you can't.
Yes.
And husbands have gone to jail for it.
Exactly.
I don't see how that's possible.
Because she's
Okay,
not-
here we go.
Yeah.
All right,
I don't, like,
so explain,
rape your
Nana.
spouse, like
Oh, shit.
how, like y'all married?
Give us this hot take, Nana.
You know, y'all
So-
married is. You both agreed. The party came together and say, you know what, I'm gonna love you from thick and thin. And in the confinements of marriage is, sex. You can have
Sexual
sex.
consensual at every moment in time, every time it happens.
Yeah.
It's not, you can not be consenting party in one part, and it's considered rape at that one time. You could have sex with your spouse for like 300 times, but at that 301 time, it is not consensual. It's considered rape.
Yeah.
I
I understand that you're in a union, but you're two entities in one
Exactly.
union. So
Yeah.
if one person says no, it's no and no.
Exactly. There's no. Oh please, no.
So Nana, are you the type of nigga who would stick that?
I'm just trying to imagine that happening.
So would you put the tip in when she's asleep? Hey, don't make it. Hey, y'all, don't make it sound like it's just come on.
Yeah.
Every nigga has thought about it and been tempted. Okay, this is just so out
I
there.
just love myself so much. I just think that anything I do is, good.
All right, back to the question. The question was, would you penetrate
I'm sweating
if she
bullets
was not
right now.
conscious? I mean, niggas make songs about it.
Shoot, hey.
The fact that you're thinking about
Yeah, this is kind of took a wild turn.
Yeah.
It's just a problematic safe place, man.
I mean, yeah, hey, okay.
So Nana, you don't believe that you can rape your own wife?
I just can't imagine it. So I don't believe it.
Can I ask this question?
Uh-huh.
Do you think, Nana, that you could steal from your husband or your wife, your spouse?
Absolutely not.
I disagree.
Mm-mm.
Huh.
Shit.
You don't
Yeah.
even like marriage, so.
Oh yeah.
We
So
go
over
shit,
here.
we gonna go there.
Yeah, Jamal, you just said fuck marriage.
I have updates. I have updates. But
Yeah, you do have updates. We did talk behind the scenes, so this is gonna be interesting.
we were gonna
Yeah.
hold off on it, but you know what? If
You
it's
just
gonna
throw
come
it
up,
out
let's-
there.
why not?
Yeah.
My bad.
The man
no,
of
you
the
good,
hour that said fuck marriage.
Look at trying to get the heat off of me. No, Nana,
hey, you didn't say that. You said fuck marriage.
I know what she's doing.
And you've been with your girlfriend for 5 years. So what's the
I
new
had to tell you
update?
Look who's vocal now, man. Nah. Okay, what's the update? What specifically?
Well, I guess your relationship status, right?
Man, to be honest, we are in a very awkward position. We are.
Y'all
we're
ain't not in a relationship,
I'm gonna tell you,
but
look,
a
I'm gonna tell you-
situationship.
No, not necessarily. But I'm going to tell you exactly. We're weird, first of all. We're a weird couple. We actually set a date. It's on the 29th. What day is the 29th? It's
29th, it's coming up.
Yeah, it's this upcoming
Friday,
week.
yeah.
We set up a meeting. We set up a couples meeting. It's like a conference. We're gonna air out all of these discretion, all of these these opinions. But as far as my feelings on marriage, I still don't see it. I still don't understand the point of the legal aspect of marriage. I believe that traditional marriage hasn't caught up with modern day relationships. However, where my situation, it's not about hurt. It's not about hurt. Like I love being in love. I like to love. I like the idea of being with the same person for the rest of your life. And to be honest, I don't like that I feel this way. I don't like that I think this way. My problem is, I mean, it's not really a problem, but I'm a thinker. I'm very analytical, which y'all know. I think like really hard about some shit because we were together for 5 years, like you pointed out. Like you pointed out, Poe.
Man, you could have been a doctor by then.
Hey, and for a good 4.5 years, I was dead set. Like I thought, marriage was definitely the move. But then just recently, it just started making less and less sense to me, especially when I see what's going on around me. I see more failures than I do marital successes. I'm talking about in terms of millennials, because that's what matters right now.
Yeah.
Because the total dynamics between men and women have changed, whatever, So anyway, my whole thing with that is, if I were to marry, it would be to her, but I just don't see. I just can't justify taking that risk for no reason.
So if you
I feel
get
like love is
married to
risk,
this
so-
girl, yeah.
Does it happen?
It's not going to be 100%.
Yeah, no.
Man, I just listened to how I said it. I could see how.
Listen,
Yeah, she's gonna listen.
I'm sorry.
Now listen, like again. No, say that. Speak it to the mic. Speak it to the mic.
Hey,
Allison,
let it out.
what you
I
think?
mean, granted, I just met you guys all of what, like
Okay.
10, 15 minutes ago.
Yeah,
So, but I mean, I feel like
don't sugarcoat it. What's up? You already okay? I want you to keep that same energy, Allison, you had off the mic.
So go ahead.
okay, well, I just feel like the fact that your mind is even allowing you to think that way, like so fervently that you're speaking it out here to people, and they're hearing you.
Yeah,
I would completely consider the relationship.
that's what's happening.
Oh, that's what's happening.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening.
Oh, dang.
Now-
what if
I
it's
mean,
not?
those are
Some people
strong
like it.
words. Like
Yeah.
those are strong thoughts and opinions.
And don't get me wrong, like I totally get where she's coming from. And believe me, I like being in a relationship. I feel like we're equally yoked. We're both strange. We're both, we're both a good match for each other. But
I could be a better.
I have a lot of nigga, you too thirsty, right? But yeah, man, I just can't get I can't get past it. I just can't get past some of these. And the thing is, I can't get past these thoughts. And a lot of people, when they first hear it, like Nana, what you like to say is, "Oh, you're in a relationship of convenience," or you're not in a relationship. This is just a situationship. Or as other girls would say, "Oh, you don't really love her. You don't really want to." That's not true. I feel like as people, when there's something that we don't understand, we try to put it in a language that we can understand. So it makes sense to you to say, "Nah, he's not really in love. He's just comfortable." Or he's just no. I love the person that I'm with. I love being in this relationship. I see, if everything goes well, I want to grow old. I want to have all that. Okay, all that marriage has to offer. I just don't want the legal risk. I don't want the. I feel
The legal risk.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you
tax
mine.
deductions when it comes to marriage.
Let me tell you my.
You save money.
Yeah.
You save money when you get married. Don't start. I'm an accountant.
Let
over here.
let the brothers. I'm gonna have to back them up
just
on
saying.
that. Let the man talk.
Oh no, she's not gonna quiet me. All right,
just saying.
she's not gonna quiet me. But listen, like I get the tax benefits and all of that. What I proposed on that episode was marriage needs to operate on renewable contracts. Okay, Allison, Allison, this is I never told you this. So
have to evaluate it.
Allison,
every
rock me
few
on this, right?
years.
Have you ever Have you ever stuck with the same cable company for more than 2 years?
But we already decided
no,
last
let
time.
Allison answer
let
the
me ask
question.
Allison.
I actually feel like I have.
Okay, I have not. I haven't stuck with the same cable company for 2 years. I haven't stuck with the same insurance. I haven't
So you have
stuck with the same.
commitment issues.
No,
Okay, but
see, that's what people say.
Hey, I ain't stuck with
that's
the
what
same
we-
insurance. Also, carrier. I go with the cheaper
What I'm
price.
saying is, there's nothing that I would make a lifetime commitment to.
why not?
Why not?
Because you don't think it's worth it?
Not because I don't think it's worth it. It's just because circumstances, certain things you can't control what somebody else does. I won't sign. I don't believe in conditional love. I mean, unconditional love.
Would you ever have children?
Unconditional love
Yes.
doesn't exist.
Allison,
like that's
you
like
asked
the
me would I have
epitome.
children?
Yeah.
Yes.
That would, okay.
And you say
I would love to say that would be the epitome of unconditional love.
no. There's definitely conditions with children.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
we
there's
kinda
definitely-
discussed
okay,
that
what
last
if Allison? What if
podcast,
you
yeah.
get the next? What if your kid is the next R. Kelly? Would you still? But see, that is different between moms and dads. Okay,
Or-
moms tend to love their kids almost no matter what, but father will cut you the fuck off. Okay, let his daughter start stripping or have a back page ad. He will cut her off.
Well, what people say about unconditional love, they say like when it's this most purest form is when a mother just gives birth to her child, a newborn, because it's like the child is not tainted at this point in time, and it's pure. Like, hey, this is coming out of me. This is a part of me. Where I think what a lot of people have this premise of love of what they're expecting, they have all these they expect so much out of the partner, and when the partner fails in one category, that's when they're like, I have trust issues now because
Unmet expectation.
you failed me. And it's like, hey, I'm human at the same time. Because I'm not coming into a relationship thinking I'm perfect. I fucked up in my past relationship. I admit to where I fucked up. So did he. And it's like, but at the same time, I know I've grown from that to where I am the person I am today. And what I started working, sometimes what I think right now with a lot of millennials, they jump from relationship to relationship, or they stay in this consistent zone where it's like, I'm complacent where I'm at right now. Not saying that's the case for you. What I'm saying is like, sometimes it's like you have to get out of your comfort zone or be okay sometimes being by yourself to learn about yourself. because they spend so much time jumping, where they're like, I don't really know who I am. And I've been in a relationship since I was 19. Like, that's the case for some people where it's like, I've just been in the same relationship or I've been in multiple relationships. I don't really know what I want or need in a relationship because I really don't know who I am. That's what we're conflicted on. And we come out of dysfunctional relationships. I mean, I'm thankful and blessed that my parents have been together for 33 plus years.
Yeah.
They're married. And then they've been dating for like a total of 40 years.
Yeah.
You know,
how old are your parents?
I'm not telling you.
No, there's a reason why I'm asking. Okay, what generation are they? Baby boomers? Are they
They're baby boomers, yeah.
Okay, that makes a big difference.
But I'm telling too, at the same time, they've, like me and my brother, how we view relationships is very similar to how my parents view relationships. So we take it as a heart when it comes to, we want to like get married, have that foundation set, because we realize my parents, you know, staying together created a foundational structure for me and my brother. It was stable. A lot of times when men say, oh, I don't know if I want to be married, women in our standpoint, we're like, but we do because of stability that's involved in it. Mm-hmm. We don't want to bring our kids into an environment that is unstable. We don't know. It's like, hey, your dad may be home today or he may be home next month. I don't know. Like, you know, call your daddy and see what it's
get married now.
Not
every woman
everybody
want to get married.
And then I don't think I'll realize you got the heat off of you. We're going to visit that.
Some women don't want, some women is because of things that have happened in the past. That's some of the, it's not saying that like, and it's not saying like we want this structural merit of like, hey, government involved telling me, hey, we got these documents. Some of the, they just want the stability of a relationship and saying like, hey, we're bringing these kids together. We can make sure like we're going to combine our expenses. We're doing this together. Bringing up these children in a community of
but that's more of a traditional environment. And then EJ did say that he feels like modern relationship, traditional relationship hasn't caught up, or traditional marriage hasn't caught up to modern relationship.
Yeah.
So
this is
the modern relationship would be my proposal, having renewable term marriages. Every 2 years, y'all sit together, y'all reevaluate, y'all renegotiate the terms. Y'all say, hey, you still want this? Are we still on the same page here? Okay, cool. Let's see if we can last another 2 years. Or maybe it just so happens, hey, man, shit ain't working out. You go your way, I go my way. It's just an easy break, no penalties. And that's that.
So you want the government to get out of it so you don't have to worry about like whenever it comes to divorce costs or anything like alimony payment.
I believe if you don't want to be in it, don't waste another minute. Life is too short.
Hey.
Well, people do things like renew their vows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't have to have the government involved. That should be something that you and your spouse should evaluate on your own.
Mm.
You should always renew it. Yeah, like it's like
and,
you know.
And let me be. And I don't think I made myself clear on the other episode when we discussed this. I am not a marriage hater. Okay, I'm happy. My brother and my brother-in-law and my sister just got married. I love them, man. Shout out to them. Okay, I'm all for marriage, but personally, for my situation, I don't believe that marriage to me just doesn't make sense for millennials anymore. Well, it's outdated.
I mean, the government's a part of it anyway.
There's more
laws. I got a quick question here. Now, since we going on this whole marriage thing, is anybody in this podcast married? Anybody?
Not at all.
Because we all talking about marriage.
Is anyone in a relationship right now?
I am.
And you already know my situation.
Yeah.
So here's that. Now I have questions for all you ladies in here. But first off, back to and I ain't forgetting Nana. But first off, back to Kev. Okay, that's what some of the listeners are looking for. They're like, this nigga got over. Nah, he didn't, y'all. He didn't. Nah, okay, we gonna go back to that. You can't rape your wife. Shit. Okay, but what ladies? What do y'all think about about this situation? Should his wife stay? Should she leave?
I feel like she knew. What am I not allowed to say on this?
You can say whatever
you want. It's the problematic safe place. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Let it out. Because I feel like she walked into some mess because when he cheated on her first, right?
Yep.
With his ex-wife.
Speak it to the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. With the ex-wife, and she had children. So, I mean, it's going to be continuous. What do you expect? You signed up for this. Mm-hmm. So I'm not condoning it, saying it's okay, but what can you do? Like, you can't even be upset with yourself. Just, right. I feel like you should just, be like, you shouldn't have got caught, nigga. Like, that's it.
Yeah. I think a lot of women, like, when they do get into these relationships with these type of men who are very powerful, at least, when it comes to money, when it comes to, what exactly their exposure, I think they do take that risk. That's a risk when it comes to those type of relationships.
Yeah.
The risk factor's increasing versus you marrying a guy who, you know, is a school teacher.
But it's everywhere.
It is everywhere, but it's a higher based on like his exposure. He's going to be exposed to how many women?
I'm saying like
check this out, man. I'm gonna have to cut you off there, Allison. You never answered the question. Should she leave? Should Kevin Hart's wife leave after Kevin Hart has cheated? I want all women to answer this question because we've been jumping around.
Because like we heard y'all's judgments on Twitter. I mean,
go ahead.
Personally, me.
Go ahead.
I wouldn't leave him.
You would not?
I would not.
Okay.
There
That's real. That first real. Why not? Why
life is just a sum of all our choices. So you know those are things that consequences that you will have to deal with. Like you know he cheated, so now y'all trying to amend the relationship. You know, I mean, it's gonna take time. And you might not just ever really get over it, but it has happened. So,
Ashley, what about you?
Would I leave or stay?
Well, yeah.
I mean, personally, yeah, I would stay.
Okay.
But that's what I said. Like,
Yeah.
I would.
Hey,
I
a guy only goes as far as a woman lets him. So,
Did you guys see
go
the
ahead.
Breakfast Club where Gary Owens was asked
See, I didn't
about
watch.
it?
I didn't watch that
Oh,
one.
it's hilarious.
I love Gary
but
Owens.
I agree with him. He was like, if my spouse is making $200-300 million, like, you just shouldn't have got caught. Like 2 dudes.
No. See, it's different for guys, and I'll tell you why.
Honestly,
And Raven, would you before you say your point there, EJ? Raven, so would you leave or stay?
Oh, I'm staying.
Yeah, she already said she'll
There we
stay.
go. It's like, but all y'all are against it, and I know
here's the
what he
thing.
did it was morally wrong, but each and every woman in this podcast just said they will stay.
And see, what's crazy is when you turn to Twitter and you go to like a regular function, you know, some outing, everybody's gonna be like, nah, hell no, I wouldn't stay.
Relationship
Everybody's
is
so
different.
fake,
Everyone
man.
has their situation.
Exactly.
Okay,
and I walk away from I would walk away from things related to abuse. Like that's for me. Like everybody has a crossing line. And even then, I tell women who do decide